Greetings, fellow armchair Imagineers. Tiki here.
And Monkey.
And tonight, well, this afternoon, since it's obviously sunny outside, we're talking Mr. Banks.
Yay!
When you wish upon a star. Oh, geez, that was out of tune.
Yeah.
All right, Monkey. So this is the finale of our D23 coverage that we've been rolling out all weekend. And, you know, since I've been lazy with the uploading into the next week because I'm a dumbass like that, but oh well. So, Monkey, you are the creme de la creme of these D23 podcasts, my friend, because, of course, we are fortunate enough to have Monkey on the ground level, on the floor of D23 on day 3. So, of course, Monkey, this means you weren't there for any of the big announcements or anything like that. You were mostly there for the panels, specifically the Voices of the Parks was the big thing you wanted to get into.
Yeah, we'll get into that.
Of course. The last time I kind of teased everyone that the big headlining event for you was meeting Jim Cummings, and then you had to clarify in the comments.
And we'll get to that too.
Now, Monkey, I just want to ask, I'm curious, when you saw Jim Cummings, was it more of an encounter or less of an encounter than my story of politely smiling and nodding at Bob Gurr?
Well, can we get to that during the Expo trip report, or? I
guess so. I'm just kind of goofing around. Okay, so Monkey, before we get to your trip report, though, of course, Ezra, Jacob, Blue Dragon 5, and I have been talking like dorks, of course, all weekend. We've gone on 3 different podcasts, yabbering on about the information and the announcements. I'm just curious to know, Monkey, let's go through. What we'll do is we'll just kind of hit the panels one by one. So I guess the big 3 are the animation panel, the parks panel, and the live action panel.
Yeah, and I chose not to go those days, partially like cost, and not to try for those panels because the amount of work it would take to actually get into one of them, and of course my spoiler paranoia.
Of course. Do you want to go Goldmark's experience?
You mean just that it took him? There was like a 4-hour line to enter the building, and then I think he gave up after an hour.
I think he after like 2 at the most. I think.
Yeah, was it? He showed up super early to get into the parks thing, which I assumed he got into.
And then he just tweeted like. Yeah, like I expected there to be lines, but not a 4-hour line to enter the building.
Yeah. I have no idea if he was there the 3rd day.
All right, so I guess, Monkey, let's start with the animation. Now, as you know, I kind of had a miniature little mental breakdown about The Incredibles 2.
Yeah.
I was like, what? It's not the way I want it?
Yeah, it does sound kind of missed opportunity, like.
Yeah, I'm glad you're on the same page with me about it. I mean,
I've never been quite as passionate about The Incredibles, but
I'm not super passionate about The Incredibles either. Like, it was a big part of my middle school years growing up, but like over time, I haven't watched it nearly as much as I watch like the Toy Story movies or Up or Ratatouille. You know what I mean? Like, it's kind of faded, but no, I don't know, man. Like, I just had this vision in my head about aging the characters, and when I saw that they didn't do that, I basically kind of lost my mind. And you can see that on air on the podcast for all the world to see, because I'm cool with letting my craziness show through on this channel. But
maybe you could argue that at least Incredibles 2 is happening, whereas I'm never gonna see Box Trolls 2 unless you count Kung Fu Panda 3.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you could argue that, but I mean, as you said, like I'm not nearly as passionate about The Incredibles as you are for Box Trolls.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to like a movie that really has potential for a sequel.
I mean, I'd have to think of I'd have to think of an animated movie that's like really super special to me would want a sequel for that hasn't gotten a sequel. I don't know. Maybe I'll get back. Hardy har har.
Okay.
Maybe I can try to get back to you on that by the end of the podcast.
You don't have to.
No, I'll rattle it around my brain in the back of my head.
Okay.
All right. So, anyways, Monkey. Are you excited at all about The Incredibles 2, or are you like me, where you're just kind of like lukewarm about the whole concept until we hear anything further?
I'm gonna see it, but
Uh-huh.
I mean, I feel like I could be more excited for it.
Anything else from the animation panel? Of course, we got the Wreck-It Ralph 2 news.
We'll see how that pans out, I guess.
C-3PO is the princess handler.
Which, I mean, this could, I might be able to take this in a good way. That sounds sort of Lego Movie-esque.
To be honest with you, I think the whole movie is basically the Emoji Movie. Like, at least the plot, all right? Don't kill me, people. I don't know. Oh, God. But Wreck-It Ralph 2 did kind of get the biggest reception out of that animation panel, surprisingly. So I guess the scene they played really worked for the audience they screened it for, at the very least.
I could see that. Like I remember last time I was there when they had when they showed the opening scene of the first movie, like the storyboard of it, and that got me super pumped. But then again, of course, that was still new. That was still new at the time. Not like, okay, how are you going to live up to that? Like, okay, let's see this exciting new property. But anyway.
Speaking of exciting new properties, Monkey, any thoughts on the suburban fantasy film from Pixar?
I knew that was a thing.
What?
Is that the untitled one?
Yeah, that's the untitled one, yeah.
Okay, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah. Again, Monkey, I'm kind of trying to tread lightly with the spoilers here with you, too. So let me know if I'm, like, stepping on some dangerous territory here.
Yeah.
All right, let's get to the parks. I'm going to yada right over Star Wars Land, because I know you don't want to know about that. Let's see, some of the general Walt Disney World announcements, Monkey. How do you feel about those?
I'm gonna pull up the thing I sent you just as a refresher.
All right.
Yeah, I mean, I guess like maybe hey, hopefully I can get back there in like 2022 when this stuff's happening. Let's see. Quick stuff is like I guess there's the question of why Tron isn't going to take over the Tomorrowland Speedway as well.
What is it taking over?
It's going to be a new space.
Oh.
It's going to take over, like, unused space.
No, I mean, to be honest with you, I don't really mind that, because from what I understand about Walt Disney World and Epcot is that they have a lot of expansion pads that just haven't been used.
So, whatever. Let's see. Anything else? Other things like a Ratatouille. Well, I hope it's not going to be just the Paris ride again. Like, hopefully they change it up slightly.
I mean, even if it is the Paris ride, it's a quality trackless dark ride, and trackless dark rides are something we don't have nearly enough of in the States. So,
I guess.
Monkey, what I'm curious about as someone who's been to Disney World is, so they're building it behind the Eiffel Tower, I'm pretty sure. Now, the Eiffel Tower is a forced perspective thing in Disney World, right?
Yeah, something like that.
So this is just something that's kind of fascinated me ever since we heard about it being built behind the Eiffel Tower. Like, how would you get behind the Eiffel Tower in that version of Epcot if the Eiffel Tower is a forced perspective?
Maybe it's like, say, I don't know, maybe kind of like how, like in Florida's Haunted Mansion, you don't actually go into the building, you enter like under it.
Okay, I could see that.
Something like that. I'm not the most familiar with the France layout.
Yeah, I asked Jacob Weil, and he just told me that when he went there, he didn't get a chance to go to France. So I was like, well.
Yeah, it's cool that they're just putting in new space for it, not replacing stuff. Like, it's going to be its own space.
Sure.
Yeah. See, Guardians, I think, is actually the one I'm most anticipating it.
Yeah, you're surprisingly high on this.
Yeah, I mean, it took like maybe an hour or so, a half hour or so, but I think like especially if they're gonna keep it as an energy pavilion, I think the Guardians are a perfect fit for edutainment about energy in Epcot.
And I keep bringing this up, Monkey, but I love your quote, like basically in the pre-show having Star-Lord be like, "Oh man, I can't wait to go on Horizons."
Yeah, or like you could even like kind of crack some meta jokes about, like, say, Epcot sponsors, about the sponsorship of Epcot attractions, or like, how did I phrase it? Like maybe the Guardians have been called to Epcot to help teach us about energy because studies show that no one's interested in learning on vacation unless recognizable characters are involved.
I love it. I love it. That's great. That's great.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So yeah, I think. I mean, they could go. It is possible
It seems like the perfect. It seems like the perfect. I'm sorry.
I mean, it's possible that this could go not as well as I'd hope, but I don't know. It seems like James Gunn is involved with this one again, and I don't know. I think it could turn out really well. I do think it's like a perfect fit for it. It's a perfect fit.
I think it's a really good choice of IP to
precisely
mock the whole. To mock the whole edutainment thing, and to also, like, much like they did with Mission Breakout, which is why I think people are coming around on Mission Breakout, is that Mission Breakout specifically calls out Mice Chat, basically. Mission Breakout basically mocks Mice Chat, which is beautiful. Disneyland, that's thematically inconsistent.
Don't forget to buy stuff.
Oh my god!
That would be great if they keep the "Don't forget to buy stuff" line in the Epcot ride.
So I could totally see them doing that same sort of thing, but with like calling out complainers about Epcot and putting IPs in the parks and stuff like that.
Yeah, or about how or even some of Epcot's failings, like, I don't know.
Of course,
like maybe they could mock Journey into Your Imagination somehow.
I just want Star-Lord to be super disappointed with Mission Space. That's all I want. That is all I want, Monkey. I just want Star-Lord to be like, well, I'm sad that Horizons isn't here, but I'll give Mission Space a chance. And then it cuts to him outside like, what the hell was that? Oh, like, no,
I don't know if they would...
sickness.
I doubt they'd go that far, but I know. There is one attraction I can think of that really mocked one of their own attractions. Thing is, that was under new management. When Iago says, "Oh, I'm bust. I think I'll go to the Hall of Presidents and take a nap." But anyway, so yeah, so
I don't necessarily think the Hall of
Presidents is
upgraded.
Okay.
Yeah, I said I don't think the Hall of Presidents is that great either. I mean, I think to be we had this Disney debate earlier, and I won with Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln. I think Great Moments with Mr. Lincoln is a superior attraction.
Yeah.
Anyways.
Well, anyway, so Mickey and Minnie's Railway thing.
Yes. So Monkey, of course, I'm the one that this directly screws over the most. All right.
Yeah.
I just want to make that clear because I have a trip to Disney World next year, and as you pointed out, they're closing it.
In less than a month.
In a month. It's like, thanks for the heads up, Disney. Like, honestly, Monkey, if I would have known that, like, 2 months in advance, I probably would have gotten on my grandma to maybe book the trip for August. Like, you know what I mean? Because
I mean, like, I think Frozen got more than a month.
Oh, I'm sure it did. I'm sure it did.
Maelstrom got more than a month.
Well,
I'm not going to mention Breakout
because we had.
I'm not going to mention Breakout because that's a more local park than touristy like Disney World.
Oh, also one quick thing about Guardians is that I'm just excited that there's going to be another Guardians attraction that isn't a clone of Mission Breakout.
Yeah, that too.
Like it's going to be completely its own thing.
Yeah, and you do have to kind of wonder why they're like, maybe it's just some contractual shit with TCM, but why can't they at least wait to close it until Toy Story Land?
It wouldn't surprise me if it was contractual shit. It really wouldn't.
Yeah, probably is. But I mean, like, from, say, an operations perspective, wouldn't you want to wait until, like, not close this big high capacity attraction? You're still building Toy Story Land. Like, I doubt Toy Story Land will be as high capacity, but that's still a couple
Dude,
rides
that would be
to
beautiful
spread it
if they
out.
kept it open till Toy Story Land opened, because that's what I was hoping for.
The case.
Well, Monkey, as much as this move basically makes Hollywood Studios worthless to me on my trip, besides Tower of Terror, like honestly, I don't even really give that much of a shit about Aerosmith. Muppet Vision, of course, but it's just I'll go to that park to do Tower of Terror a couple times. And but honestly, man, like I was planning on like doing marathons of Great Movie Ride.
And it's, I mean, that also Great Movie Ride is like it feels like a necessary ride for Hollywood Studios, even if they are getting away from the actual studios element, or they're just trying to be movies thing, entertainment thing. I mean, going through classic cinema, dude.
Monkey, I just want to make it clear though. I think Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway it sounds incredible.
Yeah, it does sound like a really good ride.
From everything that I've heard about it, it sounds like a game changer.
Oh yeah, totally. I agree with that. I just wish they could coexist.
No, I hear you. I hear you.
Like,
However,
sure there's space they could use.
I'm sure there is too. I am hoping that they keep I'm hoping that they keep the Chinese theater exterior. Yeah,
they may.
I'm hoping so, because it would be thematically consistent with the ride, since you're going into a movie theater to watch a Mickey Mouse cartoon. Like that's.
I love you talk about stuff being thematically inconsistent after we discuss Guardians.
I kind of did phrase it that way on purpose. But, no, I mean, look, no one's really talking about this, but the thing that got me really jazzed up is when the guy mentioned the theme song for this ride. And
yeah, I've heard you discuss that. Yeah, that does sound like fun, having a new theme song.
That's what really perked my ear up, because that's what really got me thinking that this thing, in spite of the fact that it's an IP, it could very well be the spiritual successor to Haunted Mansion or Pirates of the Caribbean. And I know that sounds crazy. I know it sounds like a huge leap. But from everything that I've heard about this ride, the technology, the crazy 2.5D where they have the flat sets that like animate on themselves, and you don't have to wear the 3D glasses. And it's just a completely physical experience, but it looks like it's in a cartoon.
See, at the very least, I just wish they waited another year or so to close Great Movie Ride. Like, again, at least wait until Toy Story opens.
They should have. They should have, because, to me, that move doesn't make sense at all, unless you said, like, it's probably a Turner thing, because if it's not a Turner thing, then it's just there's no logic to what they're doing, so. Yeah.
Oh, well, at least the ride looks good.
Oh, it looks fantastic to me.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then just let's say, just to move it along, so Pixar Pier, huh?
I don't get it at all.
Yeah, it sounds like I said to you, we sure this is a legit Disney Parks announcement and not just something a cynical member on a theme park fan forum came up with?
What I'm hoping is that it's just part of the Pixar whatever the fuck promotion that they're doing.
This is supposed to be permanent. It's supposed to be permanent.
It's supposed to be permanent. Oh, sweet Jesus.
I mean, like I told you, let's just end the charade and quit calling the park Disney California Adventure. Like,
I think that's an inevitability, Monkey. I think that's gonna
yeah, like I said, let's call it like Disney's Marvelous Journeys Park or something like that.
I like that. Yeah,
and you could still keep the Grizzly Peak area, whatever.
Of course, sure.
Yeah, and sure. Pacific Wharf even. Like Hell Mermaid could become part of Pacific Wharf.
I think Pacific Wharf is definitely like the saving grace for Little Mermaid. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then
yeah, whatever. So. I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. Maybe it'll look nice.
Yeah, perhaps.
But it is weird, like, them going like, okay, we're gonna redo Paradise Pier again. Like something we already wrapped up earlier this decade, but we're gonna do it again.
Yeah, that to me is the really strange thing about it, because I don't know, to me, Monkey, I think Silly Symphony Swings is more or less a perfect flat ride.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it's got a perfect location. It's got a perfect duration. It looks perfect. Yeah, it's got a good soundtrack. Like, it's nothing more than a flat ride, but it's a perfect flat ride, in my opinion. And now what are they going to do? They're just going to, like, I don't know. Like, is Woody's face from Woody Roundup going to be on the fun wheel?
Maybe it'll be like the Luxo ball or something?
I don't know. I want it to be the Woody's Roundup face. Like the giant cowboy face with like the the red dimples and stuff.
I just hope they do something with the Maliboomer's face, like an actual thing with it.
I mean, at the very least, they could do the Green Army Man parachute drop.
Yeah, wasn't that something they were thinking of doing before, putting a parachute drop there?
Isn't that something that's coming to Pixar Land? Or, I'm sorry, Toy Story Land?
Maybe. I know it's in at least one of the other Toy Story lands.
So, yeah, so a prototype for it exists. Of course, if you did that, you'd probably have to get rid of jumping jellyfish, which I don't think anyone would mind. Honestly, get rid of jumping jellyfish just to have the extra walking space.
You could theme jumping jellyfish to the jellyfish from Nemo or something.
God. Yeah, you probably could. Oh, man. What if they just convert the the Silly Symphony Swings back into the Orange Stinger and call it a Bug's Life ride? Oh, God. Okay, anyways, Monkey, we're kind of drolling on, any live action news you want to talk about? There wasn't really a ton. Will Smith is the genie.
I mean, I don't know. Like, this isn't entirely because of anything they said at the Expo. It's just been me mulling it over. I feel slightly more interested in giving Mary Poppins Returns a chance, but that's not exactly based on anything they said. Just
I'm pretty excited about Mary Poppins Returns, to tell you the truth. I'm kind of on the other end about it.
What happens, I guess.
From everything I've heard about it, it sounds like they're kind of going as stylistically close to the original as possible. So it's basically like they're trying to make a 1960s Disney movie, but with today's technology. Anyways. Also, I just really want to see Michael Rooker make a cameo in that movie.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I'm sure when the trailer comes out, we'll get like photo crop footage of like Michael Rooker coming down from the clouds on the umbrella.
If we haven't already.
I know, right? Anyways. Okay. Anyways.
But you have some sort of Spartacus thing where, I don't know, for whatever reason, like, I don't know, maybe the government is trying to find Mary Poppins, like, all right, where's Mary Poppins? And everyone's just like, I'm Mary Poppins, I'm Mary Poppins, I'm Mary Poppins. And you have Michael Rooker in the crowd saying, I'm Mary Poppins, y'all!
Oh, Jesus. Oh, man, we're dorks. All right, Monkey, let's get to your actual trip report, all right? Let's not stall any longer. So I will let you just 100% take the reins on this.
Okay, just gonna sip my water here. Okay, H2O. All right, so yeah, I was concerned seeing like whatever crowd reports from the first day or two. And yeah, it was weird like how they handled it. Oh yeah, so first a bit of history. I like in the past with the expos, I've been to one day of the first expo, the one with parks and resorts announcements, like which I actually got into.
Oh wow.
So
nice.
So like when they announced Star Tours 2, for instance. Then I did all 3 days of the 2011 Expo, which had some cool stuff in there, even though maybe some of the crowd control or organization stuff could have been better. And, you know, you think like this is their 5th time, they would have figured it out a bit better by now.
It sounds to me like this is the worst year yet in terms of that.
Yeah. I mean, maybe things were slightly better my day, but I don't know. Things just kind of relatively worked for me. I don't know about anyone else. And of course, my day didn't have something as huge as movie announcements or things. Yeah, but it is weird. Like So like on their website or in the thing I got, they said like, for Sunday we want no lineups will be allowed before 6 p.m.
Oh,
like
God.
lineups won't begin. So no, sorry, I mean lineups will begin like won't begin before 6 a.m.
Oh, okay. I was thinking like 6 p.m. on Saturday. Okay.
Like show floor, no lineup before 6 a.m. and for Hall D23 shows not before 10:30 a.m.
Mm-hmm.
And like Hall D23 was just 2 Alan Menken shows, which I had considered trying, but I figured it would be too much of a hassle to do, and it wasn't super important for me to do. But anyway, so yeah, I woke up like a little after 4 in the morning. I got there about 5 a.m. and I was able to get in line at that time. So yeah, they said like we're not opening the line till 6 a.m. I arrived at 5 a.m. and the show floor line was already at least a third full.
Oh, geez. Okay.
Yeah, Disney, you could have stuck to that better,
or like reinforced it better so that you didn't like end up, further back than you wanted to.
I mean,
because you were planning on showing up an hour early and just hanging out, right?
I mean, I wanted to be there as soon as I could, like, so I could get into the show floor as soon as possible to get a stage pass for Voices. And yeah, like this, like the less than 4 hours down there were probably the longest stretch of the day for me.
Mm-hmm.
It could have been worse in terms of boredom, but yeah, like I mean, they did have TVs playing stuff like Moana on the other side of the room.
Oh, that sounds awful.
You couldn't hear it all that well.
Oh, man.
And I tried downloading a movie on my phone the night before, and that didn't work. It took hours to load, and then you couldn't even play the damn thing.
Oh, man.
Yeah, I don't know. Just rested a little, checked social media a bit, read Here Be Monsters a bit. And otherwise, yeah, waiting down there. And it also would have been nice if they actually put some more stuff up on their website about what would be going on throughout the days. Like, instead of just telling us about, like, the shopping opportunities, which I really had zero interest in.
Yeah, you kind of went off on a rant to me about that a little bit.
Yeah, like, especially from what the guys, like the vice president of D23 said, like after the first day of the Expo, his official statements, I really didn't care for those.
Oh, God.
It felt like an out of touch higher up. But anyway, so where was I going with this? Shop. Yeah, so I don't know how much of this was on the app because my phone can't support that app.
Ooh.
Yeah, I'm a little shy of being able to update it, but so yeah, I couldn't download the app. So I had good thing you could look eventually, like the first day they were open, they had that online version of the booklet that they have there with like the maps and such. Even that didn't have schedules of stuff on the show floor, like at Talent Central or whatever signings and whatnot. So I grabbed a thing on my way into the building which had the schedule of stuff like down there. So it wasn't until I was looking at that in the morning down there in Hall E, waiting to be let up, and I'm just looking at that. It wasn't until then I even knew Jim Cummings would be there.
Oh, okay. Here we go.
So, that ultimately worked out, but, it might have been nice to know beforehand.
Right. I hear you.
It was kind of interesting, also, they let some people up at one point. Like, if you're going to the Tangled panel, come up here. We're going to put you in a line upstairs for that. I guess that lessened the crowd in there a little. And by the way, I went to this thing solo.
Nice.
I was able to see someone I knew after the con. but yeah, solo day for me. Yay, solo. No one to talk to.
Oh, buddy, I know how that goes. Trust me. Every time I've gone, the last 3 times I've gone to Discovery Kingdom, it's been me talking to myself in front of a camera.
Honestly, it probably wasn't. It might not have been as go mad from the isolation as it usually does when I go to the parks. But yeah, so yeah, but whatever. And then it was weird. Like there was one point, like I think it was 7-something, like 7:15 or so, when they say like their announcement. Okay, we're gonna take you upstairs in 25 minutes. At one point, I'm like, okay, I think it's been longer than 25 minutes.
Oh, God.
Yeah, it was like at least an hour or so before they actually moved us up.
Oh, God, that would drive me nuts.
They did apologize for the delay, but it would have been nice to, update us at the 25-minute
mark. Right.
So, yeah, eventually went into a spot like by Hall A, where some of the extended switchback queue was in. And as I'm going there, walking by the doors and such, the part of my brain was like, don't wave to the people outside. That would be mean. Yeah, it sounds like the line stretched all the way down to Catella again.
Oh, God. Oh, that's bad. Oh, wow.
Yeah, wow. Like that happened. I guess that happened at least 2 days in a row. So yeah, as long as I was down there, I guess it was worth it. So like I was able to get in the show floor. I got to the stage pass thing, and it was beautiful. Like pretty much no one there at the stage pass
Nice.
queue.
That must have felt like such relief.
Yeah, and I easily got a thing for voices.
Nice.
Yeah, we'll get to voices later. Yep. And let's see, where did I go from there? From there, I went to the DuckTales booth.
DuckTales?
Because I'd heard... Whoa! Because I'd heard that got long lines and it would eventually be closed off. So I waited there for a while and stand by, and at one point, I guess like at intervals, they would go to people in line and hand out wristbands to come back at a later time.
Okay.
And that's what happened with me. Like I got a wristband to come back like at 11 to noon in that hour. I wasn't crazy about the layout of the expo. Like it seemed like something that could be difficult to navigate. Like everything's felt sort of all segmented, and it was like a maze.
Ooh, that
you could say
that's not good.
Like I remember, maybe my memory's just faulty, but I could have sworn like the 2011 Expo, the show floor felt more open or something.
Probably just more booths.
Maybe. And maybe also partially the way that building is set up, but nevertheless. So I kind of just caught glimpses of things around. I checked out the Galaxy's Edge pavilion, Parks and Resorts pavilion. So yeah, that Star Wars land model was pretty cool, pretty awesome.
Yeah, so you got to see it in person and up close. Nice.
Yeah, nice. Expansive. Wow.
Right, isn't it?
Insane.
Yeah.
That seems like it'll be interesting to see how that compares to Diagon Alley, I guess.
I think it's going to be bigger than Diagon Alley.
Yeah, I mean in terms of like being isolated from the rest of the park.
Sure.
Yeah, so we'll see that. It's neat to see a ride vehicle model. It was cute. They had this droid going around.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah. So I wonder if he'll be in the park. Let's see. I visited the Lion King 360 booth. So like there was that video that was on YouTube, uploaded to YouTube a while back of like the opening song from Lion King on Broadway, and it's a 360-degree video.
Yes.
So it was like that, but shorter.
Okay.
So you sat in a chair, and they put a headset and headphones on you, and you could spin around in the chair and it's nice to do that instead of having to drag it with your mouse and risk accidentally pausing the video.
Right. I hear you.
And wow, that was awesome.
Cool. Glad you liked it.
Yeah, there were times where it's like I even tried to reach out for things at times. Yeah, it was weird to like not have my hand there.
Cool.
So yeah, that was worth it. That was fun, and they had a few masks from the show as well. So it's not like I've seen that show ever.
I know, right?
Yeah. And where did I go from there? I think where did I go from there? Was that when I went back to the DuckTales booth? I am going to try and figure that out. No, I guess not. I think now that's when I went to check out the Archives pirate exhibit.
Okay, now this is something, how was that? Because I couldn't exactly find any footage of it.
It was neat. I mean, I could have timed it a bit better because I ended up not really being able to see the street party cavalcade thing with Jordan Fisher, but whatever. Oh well. Yeah. But it was like they had a bunch of props and storyboard things and memorabilia from various pirate properties Disney's had over the years, like especially the pirate movies, of course.
Mm.
So like they had set pieces and costumes and even things from other movies, like a Peter Pan vehicle, and puppets from the Disney Junior show, stuff from like from an Alice comedies pirate episode,
Oh wow,
pirate short that was never made. Yeah, from like some Lost Alice comedy that was about pirates. And like drawings of the Neptune Silly Symphony. They had Jim Hawkins. They had the Jim Hawkins costume from Up at Treasure Island.
Oh, nice.
And this was a pleasant surprise, like 3 of the skeleton pirates from James and the Giant Peach.
Oh, nice.
Did not expect that.
Nice.
The funny thing was that movie was on TV the night before. Missed the pirates, but whatever. And it was on Sprout, so they did it. So the centipede didn't say biddies.
Oh God.
So yeah, you had that. And I think that's when I went to the DuckTales booth to do that. Jumped into the coins.
Oh, you actually did it. Okay, good. So you have to tell me every detail of that monkey. What did the consistency of the coins feel like?
Well, it wasn't like water. I'm sure it was. I mean, it was more pool-like than a real batch of coins would be.
Was it? The way I kind of imagine it is like jumping into a ball pit. Was it like that?
Yeah, it's like a ball pit.
Okay.
Except they're coins instead of balls.
Now, were the coins like inflatable, like a ball pit ball would be?
Well, not inflatable.
Were they hollowed out?
I think hollowed out, yeah.
Okay.
It would have been nice if they were styrofoam or something that, probably made a nicer landing.
You did get your picture taken or anything jumping into it, did you?
I did.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, I'm not crazy about the photo itself, but yeah.
You should share it to the group at least.
Okay. I'll do that now. But anyway, so yeah. And of course that's one of those things where it's like you get out and it's like you're doing it and you're like, okay, I'm definitely showering tonight.
Oh yeah, exactly. Right. But hey, once in a lifetime thing, man. Once in a lifetime thing.
Yeah.
You jumped in Scrooge McDuck's money bin.
Yeah.
Oh God. Oh, I bet.
Yeah. So where did I go after that? I think there was when I began, feeling pretty hungry and like not wanting to use up whatever food resources I already had. Made my quest to find a churro. Took longer than it should have. Yeah, I found the churro. And then it was trying to kill time before. I tried to see if I'd be able to get a glimpse of Michael Giacchino. Is that how you say his name?
Yeah, Giacchino. Yeah.
I don't think I did. I'm not sure how they had it set up, but whatever. And like I still had time to kill.
His score for Planet of the Apes, the latest one, War for the Planet of the Apes, was incredible.
Okay.
Anyways,
so I think this is when I tried to kill time before getting a stage pass for Legends of Imagineering. So I looked sort of around like the booths from other groups like Mice Chat or travel agencies, or it was cool. There was this one booth that had the sea serpent from the submarine voyage.
Nice.
Yeah, not a recreation, the original thing. Yeah, that was cool to see.
Mm-hmm.
Shorter than I expected. So yeah, I got the stage pass. The line was longer. Like it was at least halfway filled
Okay.
for Stage Pass by that point. So this would be like a little before 12:30, but it moved at an okay pace. So I did that, and I believe that this is when I went up to floor 3 to stake out to get my spot for Voices of the Parks, like over like less than 90 minutes before it actually started.
And how'd that go?
So yeah, I was like the 9th person in the Stage Pass line. Yay.
Nice.
Which helped me secure a front row seat.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Voices of the Parks. This was the big reason I chose to go on the Sunday, was for that panel. Like I went to the one in 2011. That was my favorite thing. My favorite panel, the presentation that I attended. And I got into the studio's presentation that year. Close second, but yeah, Voices was still my favorite that time. And yeah, this was a fun one.
Nice. I watched some of what you sent me. I unfortunately haven't been feeling too great the past couple days, so I didn't get a chance to watch all of it. But
yeah, it's a fun panel. It's like some pretty funny moments. Like there's this great bit of like kind of like ragging on Chris Edgerly that happens when he finishes up based on like some of his stories. It's like, I won't say go into details, but it was hilarious. Like they just like different members of the panel just kept adding on to the joke. It was hysterical.
Right.
It's like Chris Edgerly wraps up, and then Fred Tatasciore adds something, and then BJ Ward adds something onto that, and then Bill Rogers adds onto that. And then I think Yenny Alvarez is her name, adds onto that. It was hysterical.
Nice.
But yeah, Fred Tatasciore had some pretty funny moments throughout the thing. And it was funny, like the other times they did it, like it would usually end with them reading stuff from some of their bits from the parks live. Like say BJ Ward reading the People Mover spiel.
It started when they introduced them, they just play the audio, right?
Yeah, that's how it's always been for that panel.
Okay.
But so like say the first year they would hand Mark Silverman a script, and he would read a script of like some of his dialogue from the Tower of Terror, and he would read it as Rod Serling. So they changed it up this year, so it was still like doing it in whatever voices from the parks, but instead of scripts, it was the kids book, the storybook, kids storybook edition of Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Oh my god. What?
Yeah.
Oh man.
So like I think my favorite moment was like when they handed over to Peter Renaday to read a bit of it as Henry from the Country Bears, and the first thing he reads is Frollo, like reading it as Henry, like Frollo, move to drop the baby into the dog.
Oh my god. Oh, that sounds amazing. Oh god.
And then when they get to Fred Tatasciore immediately after, he's like, the moderator's like, okay, I was gonna ask do it as the Wookiee, but could you do it as Darth? Tatasciore just says, I am Groot, and he passes the book to Corey Burton. It was hilarious.
Oh,
yeah. So yeah, Fred Tatasciore is Groot on Mission Breakout. Mystery solved.
There we go.
And of course, like for me, it's cool to see voice actors. It's kind of like how, but yeah, it's cool. It's cool to see voice actors, I feel, because it's like when you watch a thing that they're in, and it's like you can, like, I guess you'll be able to get the feeling once you're writing Figment and Figment's talking with the voice of Dave Goyle.
Sure, right. I didn't even think about that.
So yeah, you're watching Figment, you're listening to him say whatever, and you think, and like you'll think like, so you saw the person who was in the recording booth doing this.
I was like, not only did I see the person, I did like a comedic bit with the person.
Yeah. So yeah, like seeing these people, like say, like these are the people who were in the recording booths doing these things, even with other things outside of the parks, like whatever Corey Burton has done or BJ Ward has done, yada yada. Yeah, and no, this was So it was cool. It was a lot of fun. It's pretty funny, and something I found kind of interesting moment. Like, I'm not gonna name names, but like in this era where we're trying to destigmatize things like being on the spectrum, and one of the voices mentioned that they have Asperger's.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so like being being a shy, nerdy kid with Asperger's, and now I get to do I'm able to do this. And after the panel, some girl approached them and mentioned how she had Asperger's as well. So yeah,
that's something that
inspirational moment.
Oh God, I've been struggling with that shit so much recently. So yeah, I feel that.
Yeah, but yeah, inspirational moment.
For sure. Sounds good.
Yeah. And so, yeah, Voices was awesome, and then I hot-footed it down to the show floor to see Jim Cummings.
Okay, so let's get to that story. Oh, boy.
Yeah, so they had a stage set up. They had a stage set up around the entrance to the show floor. It had stuff going on throughout the day, bands bands and such. And I guess Jim Cummings did a show every day. I think it might have been slightly different every day, because I found a video where he sings "Everything Is Honey," and he didn't do that when I saw him. So.
Oh man. Okay.
Anyway, so it was hosted by Bill Rogers, voice of Disneyland, of course.
Nice.
That was sort of funny. Please welcome to the stage, voice of Disneyland, Bill Rogers. Oh, I just saw him. And so he was hosting. So it's him and Jim Cummings on the stage and talking about the various Disney characters Cummings voices.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, that was freaking awesome.
Okay, so you actually got to see the panel. You just didn't meet him.
No.
You didn't have okay.
Yeah, I don't know if I'd quite call this a panel, because it was a thing anyone could get into. It was just there in the show floor.
Right. But basically... To answer my earlier question, it sounds like a cooler story than just me politely nodding at Bob Gurr.
Maybe, yeah. It was like you got an audience in front of the stage watching of people, and you got everyone walking by.
It kind of sounds like the time that I randomly stumbled into my bookstore when Lemony Snicket was there.
Maybe, yeah. You mean he was doing a signing or something?
Well, yeah, he was doing a signing, but he was also doing a performance. So he busted out his accordion and started singing a song.
Yeah, it was more like that. And yeah, Jim Cummings did sing a few songs. He sang both his Princess and the Frog songs.
Nice.
And he sang Wonderful Thing About Tiggers, which, wow. Yeah, hearing those live was pretty awesome. Princess and the Frog is that's got some special memories for me.
Sure.
Wow, if you, wouldn't that be interesting? If you were able to go back in time and go up to me as a child watching the Tigger movie, and you told me someday you're gonna see the man who voices Tigger sing his song live. Well, A, I might not have actually understood the concept of voice acting at the time.
So right,
what do you mean the man who voices Tigger? And the butterfly effect. Oh,
God.
But yeah, ooh, what a pleasant surprise to see Jim Cummings in person there in front of you. This is why I love seeing plays.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. But so yeah. I hung out there for a little while, before I went over to the Legends Stage Pass line, and so I only kind of saw the beginning of the set of who was after Cummings. Mm-hmm. Billy Hill in the Hillbillies.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so
they're not still at Knott's, are they?
They probably are.
I don't think they are, because I've tried I've tried looking them up. I don't think they're at Knott's. I don't know. Or maybe it's just the fact that when I was there, it was Christmas and they were doing other things. I don't know.
Maybe. Yeah.
Anyways,
so I'm
good
trying
to see that
it.
Tiki still has a good relationship with them, at least.
Yeah, the intro to them was something we want, honoring things that were part of our past.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
We're still at Knott's.
Okay, that's good. That's good.
Yeah, that is funny.
I'm guessing they just weren't there because they were doing other Christmas stuff when I was there.
Yeah, I find that kind of funny. Like, you got Billy Hill there after they, like, while they've defected to Knott's.
Right. And of course, they still haven't done anything with the golden fucking horseshoe. Just want to point that out there. Just want to put that out there. It's been like a couple of years since the Hillbillies left, and still no new show. Anyways,
except for maybe that time they brought the original show back, but that was limited. That was limited time magic. Literally, that's what they called it.
Exactly. I would have loved to see that.
I don't know if they even still do Laughing Stock in there.
I don't think they were doing Laughing Stock when I was there.
I don't remember. Yeah, so I went over to the stage pass line for Legends of Imagineering in the D23 Expo Arena. So I was able to go into the arena for once. Yay. Yeah, this was a panel. It was moderated by John Stamos, which means I have seen somebody from the 1985 Alice in Wonderland live.
Oh God, I'm sure that just made your whole day.
Yeah, not Jim Cummings, not the Lion King virtual reality, not seeing Corey Burton. No, it was seeing someone from that Alice movie.
God.
Like, no joke. Whenever I end up around the Walk of Fame, I'm browsing the stars looking, okay, which names were in that Alice movie?
Oh man.
So yeah, it was hosted by him, and the panel, it was Marty Sklar and Tony Baxter.
Oh God, those are two big names.
Yeah, talking about their experiences working with Imagineering legends and such.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, so that was interesting. Like, these people who are here who got to work with the greats. And yeah, it was a crazy thought looking at Tony Baxter physically there, well, bit of a distance because, arena, but, physically there in the room on that stage and thinking, this is the man who was sitting in traffic and came up with the idea for Splash Mountain.
Right.
Yeah, it's like he's got that story he's got that in his DNA. Mm-hmm. This was that person. Mm-hmm. Yeah, talking about that, and then later they also brought up Wayne Jackson, another Imagineer who had just been inducted as a Disney legend earlier at the Expo.
Nice.
And he talked about some of his experiences, and then, like, around the end, the president of Imagineering, Bob Weiss, took the stage to present Wayne Jackson with a special gift from, like, Oriental Land Company and Imagineering.
Oh.
It was like this little miniature golden version of Cinderella's castle.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, that was sweet.
Uh-huh.
So yeah, that was an interesting one to again, just hearing the stories of, like, working with the greats.
Mm-hmm.
Like, these names we just hear about, like Claude Coates or John Hench, yada yada, or Herb Ryman, I don't know. And these men actually worked with them.
Mm-hmm. For sure.
Yeah.
I mean, that's kind of how I felt with Dave Goles. Like, you worked with Jim Henson. You were friends with Jim Henson. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I know. Yeah.
Anyways. I mean, obviously I wasn't acting like that to his face, but on the inside I was like...
No, you were just asking about Gonzo's love life.
Yeah, both times. Oh God.
And so, yeah, it was kind of nice. Like, they had Great Big Beautiful Tomorrow as exit music, so that was nice to have as exit music leaving the con. Like, cool. That ended the same time as the con closed.
Okay.
Con grabbed some Sbarro in the Hilton, not the best Sbarro, not the worst. Like, that's Sbarro for you.
I have no idea what Sbarro is. I'm sorry, I'm ignorant.
It's a pizza chain.
Okay. So kind of like how I thought Shakey's Pizza was a creation of South Park. And then I drove by when I went to go see you, and I was like, "There's a Shakey's Pizza here."
Yeah, Garrett. I remember when you said that on air, and Garrett was trying to tell you about that one.
Oh God, right.
Yeah, like if you look back, he's like, "There's one near Disneyland. There's one near Disneyland."
But
yeah, God. I mean, there's worse Sbarros than that one, but hell, I think the one in the Orlando International Airport was better.
Mm-hmm.
All right, yeah. So this is a wrap. This was my time at the Pizza Expo.
Yes, awesome.
I wonder if there really are pizza expos. Maybe.
It's worth a Google. To quote Lego,
okay.
To quote Lego Joker, certainly worth a Google.
Pizza Expo. The International Pizza Expo. Pizza Expo is the world's largest trade show for the industry. Attendees include pizzeria owners, operators, managers, food suppliers, and... Well, the description ends there.
Well, now you know.
Yeah, it's happening in March 2018 at the Las Vegas Convention Center.
All right. Well, folks, this concludes our epic D23 coverage for the channel. Thank you so much, Monkey, for giving us a ground floor trip report. It's been an exciting couple days, guys, for D23. Of course, this is leading right into Comic-Con. Oh, God.
Here's hoping Leica finally announces their next movie.
That'd be nice.
They have an exhibit in San Diego at the same time, so...
Ooh, okay.
Yeah, here's hoping that.
Now, let's see.
Something.
Now, of course, Monkey, let's in terms of stuff that you and I are going to be together over the next few months, I don't know. What's the next Theater Geeks we have planned?
Maybe a Disney one, or maybe something with Man-Eating Wreath when he comes back from after his thing.
Oh, that's right. What show is he going to see?
We can talk about that after, but
yeah, right. Of course.
Yeah, anyways. And like you were thinking, tackling Disney one show at a time.
One show at a time. Yes, I think that'd be probably The Lion King would be another one. You know,
yeah. So like,
because I'm gonna be seeing Hunchback next year. So
yeah, so we could handle like Lion King, Beauty and the Beast. Mary Poppins is worth its own. Could fill an entire video discussing that
sure it
show.
Could. Yeah. Anyways.
And yeah, it's same with Lion King and even Beauty and the Beast.
And you also need to get on watching Birdman, sir.
Birdman, I know. I know.
And
especially after Spider-Man Homecoming.
I know, right? And My Dinner with Andre, too. I'd also like to My Dinner with Andre.
Oh, yeah, that.
Yeah, that's kind of the podcast that killed Theater Geeks for a while because we couldn't figure out a way to do it. Anyways.
Insert Andre isn't here joke.
But Andre, I just love my electric blanket. Okay, have a good one, folks. We will be back to our regularly scheduled Christmas in July soon on the So You Want to Be an Imagineer channel.
You heathens.